morning, Will County. I'm Corey Singer. I'm a candidate for Will County Executive. And as you know, the Illinois maps that draw our congressional districts were redrawn this year by Chicago politicians, and they intended to make sure that Will County will be represented by Chicago members of Congress. Probably most disturbing about it is when our local officials, like our county executive, Larry Walsh, had an opportunity to stand up for Will County to make sure we had our own representation. He didn't do it. Instead, he continues to support those Chicago members of Congress. Well, we think that's wrong. We want to go on a little tour today, so come along with us. I just want to give folks in Will County an idea of where they're going to have to go to visit their member of Congress once the election's over with. About what other Chicago politicians are doing, like Speaker Madigan and President of the Senate, John Cullerton, to increase, to increase sales taxes on Will County residents and ship that money to the Chicago Transportation Authority's pension fund. It's also their plan to shift about half of Illinois' $100 billion pension problem onto local governments. It's going to cost all of us a fortune. This is what's going on in Illinois. It's more Chicago politicians taking advantage of suburban areas, and in particular Will County. Local officials allow it to happen. And even if they couldn't have stopped it, they didn't even try. First have to be committed to the people you're representing, and your party and politics has to come last. Let's get out and take a little walk. Okay. All right, Will County, we're sitting in front of Congressman Rush's office on 79th Street in Chicago. We just thought we'd take a drive up here today to show the folks in Will County, especially those around Manhattan, Frankfort, New Lenox, Jackson Township, and Green Garden Township. This is where you're going to have to go to visit your member of Congress after the election. Okay, so we left Congressman Rush's office not long ago, and now we're going to head to Congressman Lipinski's office in Chicago, his main district office. And after that, we'll go see Mr. Jackson's main district office. Okay, so for those residents of Homer and Homer Glen and Lockport, assuming that Mr. Lipinski becomes your congressman, we're getting close to his office here. We're on Archer Avenue going west. We're almost there, just west of Midway Airport a little bit. So it's going to be quite a bit of a drive for you when you want to come up and see your member of Congress. Hey, Will County. We're standing outside of Congressman Lipinski's office, and having your congressman be a City of Chicago congressman is not right. We're going to hold Mr. Walsh accountable to that. Okay, so we're headed to Congressman Jackson's South Cook County office now after leaving Mr. Lipinski's office. Now, there's no way in the world that Mr. Jackson is going to have the best interests of Eastern Will County and Southern Will County residents at heart. So we're going to drive down to Mr. Jackson's office today. We want to show you where you'll need to go. So we're standing in front of Congressman Jackson's Cook County District office, where if you're from Beecher or Crete, Peatone, University Park, or the unincorporated areas of Eastern Will County or Southern Will County, this is where you'll come to see your member of Congress, where of course Mr. Jackson can sit down with you and explain how sensitive he is to the agricultural community, to our farming families. Or he might call you all a bunch of tumbleweeds again. The foundation of our county is our agricultural community, and they deserve to be represented by someone in Congress who needs their vote and works for them. And what's even a bigger shame is our local officials have not stood up to Congressman Jackson. When Mr. Walsh has had an opportunity to oppose Mr. Jackson on the airport plan, he's chosen to say nothing. When Cook County politicians and Chicago politicians were making sure Will County would be divided into pieces and represented by Chicago congressmen, he didn't say a word. That's wrong. It has to change. We have to go back to service from our community, for our community. On November 6th, let's make that change. Let's bring service back to public service in Will County.